Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the Airplane Mode podcast with EF Ultimate Break. I'm your host, Sarah Baus, and Airplane Mode is a creator-to-creator podcast where we talk about stories, we talk inspiration, we talk tips, and we hear from you, our community. So go ahead, turn Airplane Mode on, and let's get started. Today, we're talking to Chloe Mitchell, a content creator, a fellow travel girly, and just a ball of energy and joy, no matter if she's at home or if she's on the road. She is all adventure all the time. Chloe, I am so excited to be talking to you today.
I'm so excited to be here. I can't tell you how many times I have listened to Airplane Mode. I loved your episode with Alexa. I'm just stoked to be here.
I know this is going to be so great. And you have, I'm coming off of just watching all your Kenya content, which actually, let's go ahead and talk about that. Cause I have a quote from you that I
Oh
need,
no.
I need to hear more about this. So you said, shout out to EF Ultimate Break for somehow turning a group of strangers into a full blown safari soap opera.
Yes.
I need to hear more about your experience in Kenya with EF Ultimate Break.
I think that quote reigns so true because I didn't realize two things going into this Kenya trip. One, how different of a trip it would be like than any trip I've ever been on. And two, what it is like being stuck in a safari car. Not stuck, but you're in a safari car with 6 girls for 8 to 10 hours a day. And so all the tea comes out, all of the gossip, all of the deep-rooted trauma ends up being talked about because you don't have cell service. You're in Kenya. You're literally in the Masai Mara in Kenya. And all you have is the words coming out of your mouth to entertain each other, and it was a full-blown soap opera. I'm glad no one was recording.
Oh my God, imagine if we had the mic there. We're just like, no, and again,
Oh,
and
yeah.
again.
And one more time, can you say that
Can you
clear?
say that clearly into this mic? So you were on in this car for 8 to 10 hours for multiple days.
Yes, and you keep the same group of girls too. Like, there were 2 girls that we had never met that were in the car with us. So I was traveling with my friend Anna, and I knew the other 2 there. But the last 2 ended up becoming our like dearest friends. I'm obsessed with them. We still have a WhatsApp group chat. We talking all the time.
Yeah.
But we got to know each other very fast because we started yapping and it didn't stop for 6 days. So it was lovely.
The conversations you have on travel with strangers.
Yeah.
I feel like it just expedites a relationship. So, and you and I both know there's this weird phenomenon of when you go on travel and you haven't known these people, but for a week, 2
Yeah.
weeks, maybe. And
Yeah.
you build these connections that are stronger than people that you've known for years. Do you think there's like something sort of broken about how we connect in our regular, every day-to-day life? Or maybe like when we travel, it sort of strips the context of life away. And so it sort of is the most raw version of you. Why do you think that is?
I love that question, and I don't know if it's necessarily broken. I think in day-to-day life, when you're not traveling, we're more likely to be guarded. We're more likely to hold our cards close to our chest. But when you're on a trip in a new space with new people, some of which you may never see again, there's no need to hold the cards close to your chest. You just get to talk and be you and show up authentically and, in my opinion, define yourself in these people's eyes because you're showing up as your best self because you want to have a great trip. But you also are traveling with people you've never met and also want to have a great trip. And being that you're on that same level, you both are going to connect in a way that ideally is authentic and lovely and beautiful. Not necessarily broken, but different than how you would in your hometown.
Yeah, and you're being put into situations that you just wouldn't experience at
Yes.
home. And depending on like
Yes.
how adventurous, your trip is, you may
Yeah.
smell a little bit. You guys might be,
Yep.
going through some things that you've never gone through before
Yeah.
together. And so I feel like it just expedites that connection because you're running into
10,000%.
situations that you had not before.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you got to get over your ego when, say, you need a tampon and you got to ask the stranger on the bus next to you. You got to do what you got to
Yep.
do in those situations, which then breeds connection and conversation. So
Yeah.
this is your sign to ask the nice girl next to you on your EF trip for a tampon because she might be in your wedding one day. You never
Oh,
know.
exactly. I
Yeah.
love that. No, that's so true. And I still talk to people that I met through EF years ago because my very
Yeah.
first EF trip, I actually turned 18 on it was my
Wow.
first time out of the country. It was my first trip with EF
Yeah.
altogether. And then, and I turned 18 on the trip and I still talk to some of those people.
That's beautiful. That
Yeah,
is so beautiful.
it really is. I love it. So you are a college athlete. You've been an athlete for a very long time and very successful, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You
Thank
are an
you.
absolute beast. Like I watched some of your videos. I was like, oh
Thank
my
you.
God. And I was not an athlete like you, but I did play some sports. And there's like this, similar sort of vibe when you're on a team and you're sometimes traveling together or you are playing a game together. Like there's a common goal and there's experiences that you get on a sports team that are, again, like individual to that, time, individual to that group. Do you think there are similarities between the connections that you get bonding with a team and the connections that you get on these out of the country experiences with strangers that you just met?
Yes. Again, great question. When you're a college athlete, you are seeing your teammates at the lowest of lows. Sure, at great high moments when you're winning games, but 95% of the time, you're sweating, you're gross, you're uncomfortable, you're being pushed so far out of your comfort zone in these new territories, whether it's physically or quite literally territories in the travel sense. And I think it is borderline identical to what it looks like to travel with a group of people. You create trauma bonds is the wrong word,
No,
but
but I know what you mean.
yeah,
I know it's not trauma bonds, but it's like, oh, only we are going to get this.
10,000%. And you get to see each other in vulnerable, uncomfortable states, which expedites the bonding process. But on top of that, you get to see each other's true colors. Like as an athlete, whether you're getting screamed at by a coach or dry heaving because you ran so many sprints, it's applicable to the travel sense. It's like if it's gonna happen, you're gonna miss a flight, or it's gonna happen, you're not gonna show up on time, or it's gonna happen, you're gonna meet someone that you're like, what is going on right now? But when you're with your people, teammates, or travel buddies, it expedites the bonding process and makes for a great story to tell as time goes on. So, great question. Yes, there are many
Yeah.
similarities.
Yeah, and you're going through these like physical challenges. As you're a
Yes.
very physical, very active person, have there been, and I know the answer to this, have you ever taken on some physical challenges out of the country on travel? Muay Thai, maybe, I don't know,
Muay
that
Thai, maybe.
maybe that created these bonds with people while traveling?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So in Thailand,
Yeah.
we trained with our EF group in Muay Thai. And if you don't know what that is, it is a martial art where you learn how to strike, punch, kick, defend yourself. But in this class in specific, okay, the warm up, Sarah, we all were hands over our head, trying, obviously, there's cameras on us, like trying not to sit down mid warm up. We hadn't even gotten to the activities yet because it was so labor intensive and amazing. We were immersed in what it was like to train. But when you're all sweating off your makeup and doing push ups on a sweaty Muay Thai ring, you know, okay, these people are seeing me for who I am. And it was fantastic. Really hard, really hard. I want to go back and like get my cardio where it needs to be so I could actually do it to the extent it needs to be done. But so rewarding. Like I loved every moment of it.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I've always wanted to take one of those classes. I've like looked into them near me.
We'll go to Thailand together. We'll run
Yeah,
it back.
it's like that
Yeah.
sounds like an authentic experience. Sounds like
Sounds
an
like a plan.
experience I wanna have. That
Yes.
seems like pain I wanna go through.
Yes.
And so with these experiences, has there been a specific experience that
Yeah.
you've gone through while on an EF Ultimate Break trip that turned a stranger into an instant friend? I feel like if you've been on an EF Ultimate Break trip, you have these experiences and you know it. Can you name one?
I could name a few
Okay.
actually. There was This is before we even did any of the awesome EF excursions. It was right when we got off the plane. It was my first time in Europe. We got off the plane and I saw this girl, and I hope she watches this. Her name is Natalie, and I still talk to her to this day. We were waiting to meet our tour guide. So excited. My first EF trip. I'm like, oh my gosh, we just landed in Venice. Like, we're gonna go do this. And she saw us kind of freaking out. And she was like, hey, guys, are you with the EF group? Come stand over here. Where are you from? And all the like excitement, but also travel anxiety of like, how am I going to show up? I've never traveled in a group before. Like, I hope these people like me. I hope I'm not saying too much or I'm too loud. All of the questions melted away. She just met, and she's a solo traveler too. Natalie, I love you, and I hope you're watching this. She's a solo traveler doing it herself. She'd done EF trips before, told us the run of the, like, the lay of the land, like the run of show, and was like, just be present. The first day is always the most exciting. And we hung out the entire rest of the trip. I still text her to this day. She bought a house. She's awesome. And yeah, instantly became a good friend just right when we got off the plane.
Now, with traveling, we all know like something's gonna go wrong. It's just a good expectation to have. I find that sometimes those are the best bonding experiences. What is like a time that something's gone wrong? There's been a mishap. There's been something that's gone awry,
Gone
and
awry.
gone awry, and that has led to a unexpected friendship.
Okay, I have a good one for
Okay,
this. I was in Guatemala, and while I was in Guatemala, we decided to hike this volcano called Acatenango. And we go up.
that was beautifully said, wonderfully
Thank,
done.
thank you. I practice in the mirror every night just for you. I we hike up this volcano. It's like a 14-hour hike at an incline that makes the 12 3:30 workout look for like child's play. It was the hardest hike of my life, right?
You hiked
And
for 14 hours?
for 10 hours, and they added a 4-hour hike on the active
No, of course, because
volcano.
that wasn't enough.
Yeah, right. And I'm, the college athlete mentality. I was like, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
it's totally fine. No, Sarah. We got to the top, the peak, okay? And the people was traveling with, one of them got severe altitude sickness. Like,
No.
projectile altitude sickness, and she had hiked all day just to see. So then you sleep on top of this volcano for like 4 hours, and you wake up at 4 a.m. so you could summit for sunrise. So you could watch the volcano explode and see the gorgeous sunrise. She got altitude sickness and couldn't summit. We couldn't summit either because it was pouring rain. So I and my broken Spanish had to go find this nice man that lived on the side of this volcano and was like, necesito dos caballos. Like, I need 2 horses. I need 2 horses. This girl, there's no airlift, there's no nothing. She had to walk down the mountain, which kind of takes twice as long because you're doing more stops. So we found 2 horses, and we both got on these horses. And together we went down the mountain. It was like a mishap because the altitude sickness, but it ended up being so beautiful because not only did we not have to walk, but you're like on these horses in the jungle. It was a cloud
Yeah.
forest. Yeah, so it went bad and then it went good. And I was just a warning to anyone that's going to do that hike. Bring a lot of water. A lot of water.
Yeah. No, but I think that's a good example. Well, first of all, that's insane. Let me pop that in there. First of all, that's insane. It's an insane
Insane.
thing to do, and
Yeah.
then that is an insane story. But I feel like when you travel, like those mishaps often turn into like good. It may not always turn
Yes.
out good, but it
Yeah,
ends up being a good experience at the end.
I would agree.
We wish you wouldn't have gotten sick, but like what a
Yeah.
lovely time. You're
On
on
our
your
horses.
horses.
Yes. It definitely bred like a hidden gem in the travel experience. I was like, this sucks for her, but now we're on horses together. And then she was happy. Then we weren't as high. She got down, altitude sickness went away. And then we just knew a really cool farmer on the volcano in Guatemala. He's
Yeah,
awesome. And
I
he had
love that.
puppies. He had puppies at his house. I know. It was lovely.
This is the things that you just don't you can't make up. You're not going to get when you're at home. And have you heard of that phenomenon where it's like if you are making memories with other people, they're stronger
Mm.
memories than if you're just by yourself? I feel that's so powerful and that's very relevant with group travel. And I mean, I was just on a like I say just on a trip. It's been a couple months. It feels so fresh, but I was texting with some of my friends from the Japan trip, and there are just it's being able to talk to somebody else, be like, do you remember that time when we were out and we went
Mm.
to a Japanese club and we had just stumbled in on it after we were eating sushi? And it was,
Yeah.
I mean, you remember the music, you remember the sounds, you remember the smell, you remember everything. And then you're hearing it from their perspective. And it just feels like, oh my God, like, like core memories, like the little balls from
The
Inside
little
Out.
balls from Inside
It
Out.
feels like
Yes.
if I'm like watching these core memories, it feels like these are brighter because you're with
Oh,
other people. Do you know what I mean?
yes, it's like the memories are solidified when you're not alone, when you're with other people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I can relate to this on a fundamental level. My tiny glowing orb moment was when I was on the bridge at Neuschwanstein, the Disney
Neuschwanstein.
castle.
Yeah.
Neuschwanstein, the
Yeah.
Disney castle. And we had just stopped after this long bus ride and we climbed up the hill and you're on the bridge and you're looking at this Disney castle. And it was so special that I wasn't alone. And it was so special that I was with one of my dear, dear friends who I've known for 10 years, who we like loved princesses with and watched Disney movies together and we're young tiny women together now traveling as young adults staring at the Disney castle. That to me is the glowing orb moment. And on top of that, to get down from the top of the castle, we also took this horse-drawn carriage down because we're like, we're princesses,
Oh
let's
my God,
do.
that's so cute.
Yes, and we both sat in the front, and it was so picturesque English and perfect until one of our horses lifted up its tail
Oh yeah.
and ripped the nastiest fart. It blew our hair was slicked back. It like solidified our slick back. We were like, and so it was beautiful and princess and perfect and topped off with a wicked rip.
Do you know like when they talk about like girls and it's like when you're on like a girls' night out or something and it's like the point of the night where you all start confessing your love to each other and you start crying? That
Yes,
that feeling
that was
is
the feeling.
yeah, that feeling, put it in travel with
Yeah,
like other people and then you're just
yeah.
kind of looking around having this experience that's the orb. That's the golden orb feling. And it's
It
the
is the
same, and I'm
golden
just
orb.
like you're just like, do you wanna, I don't know, hold hands because this is a magical moment.
I will never forget this moment,
I would
and I
never.
can't wait to tell your daughter we did this together. And yeah,
And I
over.
love you so much. And like, I mean, these are people for me. I'm like, I love you so much. And we met 4 days ago. And homie, you are a real one. And you are mine. Like, I want you to
Yes.
know that we are right here.
Yeah, we are right here. You're in my will now.
You're,
Like I'm the same. I'm on the same wavelength as you. I need 24 hours and I know. I know
yeah.
if I love you or not. And
No,
I, yeah.
it's so quick. It is so
Mhm.
quick. And it's so fun like creating content and then also being like I still make videos like with my old travel content and whatever. And the people that are on the trip were like super supportive of me creating content. And so we have these videos together. And that was even more
Oh.
like that's also so, like I love that I can record these and be just sort of relive it and then relive it with them and they'll be like, oh, I saw the video, like that was so much fun, and then we'll start talking again. It's just the best.
Yeah, I love that. And I literally am going to be thinking, I'm going to go to bed tonight and think, oh, I want to just ruminate in my tiny orb moments more. And then I'll text people and be like, thinking of you in in my orb. I'm just going to add that no context.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit about, I mean, your content, you as a person. I told you before we started recording, I'm a huge fan of your content. I love your creative style, and you are probably like one of the most authentic creators on the internet, which that shows in your personality, but also I think it's a really hard skill to translate to content in the way that you do it. So commend you for that. With your authenticity when traveling, as a queer person, do you ever feel like you have to shy away from that? Like you have to put on maybe a front when you are traveling outside of your comfort zone?
I think there are a few ways to go about this. For a long time, me being a queer individual, I didn't share with the internet. I didn't share with the people around me. To me, it hindered me from being fully Chloe. And when I'm able to show up as fully Chloe, I'm able to be the best version of myself per anyone else. I do think when traveling, you need to do your research. You need to know if I'm going somewhere and can wear my loud and proud pride shoes. And if that's gonna incite some kind of violence, let's not do that. Let's be aware of where we're traveling. Let's be smart humans and let's wander wisely. But if it's a space that I know
Wander
is,
wisely. That's great.
yeah, yeah. I do think I do think you have to be careful in certain spaces, but if you know it's a queer friendly space and if you're being tentative about sharing with your group that you're a queer person, I would encourage you to feel it out the first couple of days and then drop little Easter eggs. I have gone on so many of these wonderful EF trips and dropped little Easter eggs and kind of, you can kind of see who else is queer or who's an ally, and you'll find your people. That's always been the case for me. You'll find your people. So I don't have a super eloquent answer for that other than be safe, wander wisely, and drop your Easter eggs and find your people.
No, I think that that was great. I've always found my groups have always been like super diverse, and you're
So
right.
diverse.
Like no matter what background you're coming from or anything like that, you do always sort of find your group, find your people. You have some dynamic as like a large group, of course, but then you kind of find these pockets of
Yes.
like your buddies. Have you ever gone to a Pride celebration outside of the U.S.?
Not outside of the US. I haven't and I want to so badly. I can't even tell you. It's every part of me wants to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that would be so interesting. Have you had any like any interactions with like LGBTQ plus communities outside
Yeah.
of the US?
Yeah, so we went to a gay bar. It was like actually still light out and very demure. And we
Very
went to a gay
demure.
bar. Yeah, very demure. We were in Split in Croatia. And I was traveling with my queer best friend. His name is Ernesto. He's awesome. And we both saw the sign, we saw the flag, and we thought, that is where we need to be. That is where we need to be. And it was the most lovely experience. We met all different kinds of queer people, but also different kinds of allies. Like it was so interesting seeing internationally what the ally game looked like, and I really enjoyed that. So we had a good time. We had a
Yeah,
really good
I
time.
feel like that's got
Yeah.
to be such a unique experience because it's a community that you have back home, but then
Mm-hmm.
you're taking it outside of home, putting it into a new place where there's also
Yes.
probably other travelers, so
Yep.
everybody's having this new experience. And again, it's just like you're never gonna find this pocket in this of people in the same way and have
Exactly.
the same experience at any other time.
Exactly. And it's kind of Ernesto and I have immense amount of privilege in that we can be undercover queer. Like you might not know unless Ernesto opens his mouth or I'm explicitly saying, "Hey, I have a partner," or "Hey, I am gay." So, being able to be undercover and feel it out and then go full, "Yes, happy pride," is a beautiful thing. And doing that with people that you feel safe with, whether you just met them or whether you know they're a part of the community, is something that it really rounds out my travel experience when I'm able to add that to my infinity ring. What is the saying?
And
Infinity
like you're an
stone hand?
infinity ring, infinity stone, like
Yeah,
from
Martin
Thanos.
Thanos, you get me. You
Yeah.
get me.
I'm like, yes, no, I'm
Yeah.
there with you. No, that totally makes sense. Do you think that
Yeah.
there's like sort of benefits to traveling as a group as a part of the LGBTQ plus community, giving
Oh my
you some
gosh.
sort of buffer?
Yes. Yes. I think traveling alone as a queer person, if you do that, more power to you. For me, especially prior to let's just talk about Europe. Before I ever went to Europe, I was intimidated for a variety of different reasons. Where to start? Who do I go with? What do I see? How much time? But when you're in a group, you all get to ask those questions together. And it kind of, for me, soothed the anxiety of knowing, okay, well, I know these people are queer, or I know these people are new at traveling, and we're all figuring this out together. And how beautiful of an experience is that? Because we're figuring this out together in Barcelona, or we're figuring this out all together in Venice, or it is. I can't speak any higher about group travel. I know you feel the same.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get teary-eyed.
I
Yeah,
know,
like
same. It is just, it is a deep, profound experience being on a trip with strangers and then 12 days later telling them your deepest and darkest secrets. I remember before I came out to the internet coming out to people on trips because I felt so safe with saying, hey, by the way, I know you know I'm on social media, but like between you and I, this is what I'm struggling with. And I want to tell the world, how do I do it? I asked advice from
mhm.
people on these trips. What would you do if you were me? And so, yeah, I would say that would be my answer to that question.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. No, that like brings me back because you think about when you're, I like that you said, you're spilling these secrets, you're bonding, and then you're in Venice, you're in Barcelona, and
Yeah.
I've had these moments where, you're almost like head down, you're locked eyes with this person, you're probably crying, or like they're crying, or they're telling me something, or like you're connecting in some way. And then you just kind of like look up and I'm like, oh my God, we're in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're in Germany. Like
Yeah.
we're having this experience, like an experience within the two of us, but then an experience with this whole group and a lot of times that there'll be usually on these group trips, many of the people have not been to that country before. And so you're also experiencing that for the first time. You may have people who've never traveled before. This is their first
Yeah.
time out of their country. And it, oh my God, yeah, that feeling it's ethereal. It is like nothing that you've ever experienced before unless you've also been on group travel. And I had a couple DMs this week about people asking me different questions about group travel and different questions about EF Ultimate Break. And I have a girlfriend who I'm very close with, who went to college with her, who I think she's gonna sign up for one, and she's nervous. She's like, I'm shy. Sometimes I need a break. Sometimes I need to be away from people, and so she was asking about that. I was like, no, it's very much like you'll find your people, and then there's times that you can step away. But
Yep.
I'm so excited for her because I always say, like, if they DM me, they're like, hey, I just signed up for this trip. I'm like, I need you to send me a voice note when you're on the
Yep.
trip. After the trip, I need to know
How
how
it
you feel
goes.
after, because if this is your
Yes.
first time, I
Yeah.
just want to hear that first time
Yes.
feeling.
And like as an adult, how many experiences do you get to just make friends?
Yeah, and play.
Just
It's
big
very
and
playful.
play. Oh my gosh, and play like you said with the backdrop of Sagrada Familia, or with like an Aperol spritz in your hand. And 90% of the time, if you're like me and forget to buy an eSIM, you're unplugged from the world, and you're making friends and playing with strangers. It is so cool. It is like kindergarten abroad, responsibly. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Responsibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course you're like running through the streets doing these things. I've ran into like different celebrations, there'll be a holiday, or like, when you go and all of a sudden
Yeah.
there's like a street celebration or a street festival
Yes.
or something that's happening, and you get to just like kind of hop in. Oh my God,
Yes.
we did that in Japan. And there was such a big parade, and we just got to stare. And we're like, oh my
Wow.
God. And you're just there, and there's music and dancing, and it is
Yeah.
just the most heightened experience.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Is there any Pride festivals that you want to go to
Oh
outside of the
yes.
US?
Oh
You got a
yes.
list.
I got a list. Iceland, Reykjavik. Am I saying that wrong? How do I say that? It's a very beautiful Icelandic word, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but they have a great Pride festival. Bangkok and
Oh, I've heard of the Bangkok one. Mhm.
oh my gosh, yes. And Sao Paulo in Brazil. All of these,
Ooh.
yes, all of these are, I've done extensive research on TikTok into what they look like. Bangers,
Yes.
every single one.
Okay, so I want to segue. We've got a very fun segment that we call Carry On Only. This is very serious because this is rapid questions.
Okay,
And
I'm ready.
so I'm gonna ask you 5 rapid questions. First answers that come to your head. I think you're gonna be great at this. I'm very excited.
I'm kind of scared at what's going to come out of my mouth, so let's be
That
prepared.
makes me very excited as a listener.
Okay.
This is
Oh
gonna
gosh.
this is gonna be so good. So, are you ready for Carry On Only?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go. Ready? Number 1. I want you to name 3 things you will not travel without.
Headphones. Imodium. And I will never travel without. I need a third one, but there's so many to choose
Like thinking when
from.
you're packing.
Oh, I have a good one. Tiny elastics. Those are underrated. Like the
Oh,
really tiny elastics. If you have thin hair and you want to vary your hairstyle, you need those.
no, the clear ones.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love
The
the clear.
clear
No,
ones.
yeah, and I have a little tin that I think like a pair of eye patches or something came in, that I keep bobby pins and clear elastics, and then I actually
Okay.
have elastic around it so that it doesn't open in my bag or whatever. But no, that comes with me every
Yes.
trip I go to, every single one.
Every single one. And I love the sustainable queen behavior with reusing the eye patch case.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know it. You know
Immediately,
it.
yes.
Next place you're going, and next place that's on your bucket list.
Okay, I'm going to Jackson Hole in a week. I'm really excited.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. My friend just came back from there. It looks
Did she like
beautiful.
it?
Yeah. Oh, she loved it. And it's so her vibe too.
Yeah.
She's an Instagram girly. And so like we got all the pictures, and I was like, give me it, serve it up on a plate. Thank you so much.
Literally cannot wait. And I haven't been this excited about a place in the US in a while.
What is the next place on your bucket list?
Oh, you've been talking about it this whole time, and I'm foaming at the mouth. Japan.
Oh,
Japan.
Japan. It's even better. I've yet to be disappointed by a place, but it is even better than you think.
Really?
Like, yeah, oh my gosh, it's It's even better than you think. It's so beautiful, so kind, so
Yeah.
vibrant.
Yeah.
I love Japanese food, and so
Me too.
it was top tier.
I want to go obviously for the people,
Yeah.
obviously for the food, but I also, speaking of TikTok collection folders, the scuba diving in Japan. I'm a big diver girly. Insane, I've heard.
Okay, we didn't go to any like we didn't it was way too cold. But I
Right,
want
right,
to
right.
do like kind of coastal or like island areas of Japan. I want to go back cuz we stayed in like the
Yes.
main cities, which is so interesting. But yes, I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, and I'm such a water girly. I've never actually been scuba diving, which I find
I'll
to be
take you.
very okay. No, everybody's like, "Are you gonna surf in Japan?" I was like, "No. Have you seen those waves? Absolutely not. I am too novice for that. I'm an East Coast wave girl.
Yeah,
I
I hear you.
Japan is gonna be like way too far for me, but I would love to scuba
To
dive
go
there
under the waves.
under
Yeah.
the waves, like
Under
in
the
the
waves.
water. Perfect.
And you like fantasy, like we
Yeah.
were talking about prior to our call. It is the closest thing to ethereal fantasy underwater world ever. You need to go.
No,
You need
that's
to go.
oh my
Yeah.
God. No, I had a experience. I didn't scuba dive. I was just like sort of like free swimming in
Yeah.
Croatia, and I was under the water and I had goggles on, and I just sort of like I stayed still for a second and I was watching the fish around me and I was like I've never been happier, nor my like this is actually my true form. I looked down a couple times. I'm like, please give me fins. Please give
Yeah.
me fins.
Where's
Please
my
give me
tail?
fins.
Where's my tail?
Where's my
Yeah.
tail? Am I
Yeah.
married?
I love it.
Oh my God. Okay. Number 3, best hack for packing, especially when you're going on like a very active trip like Kenya.
Okay, best hack is the do not bring a rolly suitcase. And this is coming from a girl who loves a rolly suitcase.
Yeah,
Okay,
wait, I need to hear this.
I am all about convenience. I'm all about I don't want to carry that. Please don't make me carry that. I bought this full-blown like backpacker hiker osprey
Yeah.
backpack and a North Face one to go on the front, and not having wheels, especially on an active trip where you're moving every 2 days and 90% of the time there aren't paved roads.
Yeah.
Get yourself a backpack that can carry all your stuff. It was like a duffel bag too.
Yeah.
So essentially a duffel bag with straps for
We've got 2 ospreys. Joseph has like he put me on and he had an osprey through college, like a small one, and then he got
Yeah.
me a larger one when it was for one of our trips. It might have been for Thailand, I don't know, but
Yeah. Game
yeah,
changer.
ospreys are really good.
ospreys. I never knew how to say it. Ospreys. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
they're
good
really
to
good.
know.
That's
Okay.
actually, you know what? That's a good tip because I've done the rolly suitcase in Italy. And let me, not
Me
even just
too.
Italy, I've done it on the Amalfi Coast.
I'm so sorry for your suitcase's wheels, but I will say I was reading up on one of your travel hacks and the shoving the garments
Yep.
in your what is it called, neck pillow.
In the neck pillow.
I need to do
Yep.
that. That needs
Yeah.
to happen
Oh,
immediately.
it's perfect. Like that's where I put like PJs and socks
Smart.
because I like I don't know, the rolling thing, and then I can shape it out. Because I was like,
Yeah.
I don't need like this is space that I could be using.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I need that.
Yep,
I
it's
need
so
that.
good. And then I usually like I don't need it until I get back on the plane for coming home.
Exactly.
So then I can just stuff it again, and I don't have to carry the big thing.
Yeah.
I can just
My biggest pet
unpack it.
peeve, yeah, is like having this neck pillow I have to
And
lug
then it's
around
like
that I'm not
you're
losing.
like hooked it to your
Yeah.
backpack, but it's smacking you while you're walking.
It's smacking you. It's dipped in someone's espresso. It's like a whole problem. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, your craziest experience while traveling. I feel like I don't know
Ooh.
what's gonna top the horse one.
Craziest experience that I've had while traveling. Okay. I have one.
Okay.
I almost slipped into a Venetian canal. And I was saved by the hands of my besties. We had just had a lovely night out in Venice. We were full on carbs and feeling adorable because everything's romantic and picturesque in Venice. And this might not be the craziest thing to happen, but this is definitely something that this is a situation I never thought I would find myself in. We start walking, and these nice men start saying like, "Hey, beautiful," and all the, Italian kind
Yes,
of cat
very
calling.
Italian.
Yes, yes. And we were flattered, but also like, get away from us. We just
Yeah.
want to wander and be girls.
You're like, I know I'm cute, but also stay 10 feet.
Yes, exactly. Like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
I know Muay Thai. Like,
Yeah, I know Muay Thai. Like, don't
yeah.
get me.
Yeah. So we see a photo spot and we're like, we need a
Yeah.
picture right there. We're on a bridge. We have a flash camera. Like, this is going to be the photo we send to our families having a European summer. So I'm sitting on this bridge and I'm smiling and I'm looking around and I see these steps that go down into the Venetian Canal. Not enough to like swim obviously in the canal, but to where I'm like, that would look great on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like, I need to go explore that. So what a girl does is she goes and walks down there. It was covered in moss. I don't know how I didn't see this, but we have a group of Italian men watching us, catcalling us. We're taking pictures as, you know, the Americans with the flash digital camera. And I'm simultaneously, I think it lasted like 10 seconds, Sarah, of me on the algae going,
No.
like trying to catch my
Like
balance.
the waving arms, like,
And all I can hear in my head is engage the core, engage the core.
please.
And so I engage the core. One of my friends in this, 10-second montage of me swinging my arms, grabs my arm and pulls me back up. The photos did not turn out, but I did almost know what it was like in the middle. I think this was late December. What it was like to take a dip in a Venetian canal. Yeah.
These have been great. You're doing fantastic. One more. What is your favorite? I know that you get tattoos when you travel. And I love that. I got my first one in February and now I'm on number 3.
Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. What's your favorite one? Your favorite travel tattoo?
Oh, this is easy. Is it easy?
She's like, this is great. And then she's like, wait, what about that one?
Okay, I have a favorite because I just like how different it was. Mm-hmm. It was this one I just got in Barcelona. Love her.
That's one of my favorites that I've seen from your
Thank you.
content. I remember first time I like saw that, like your hand. I was
Yes.
like, I love it.
No, I adore her. But my most meaningful one, it was actually in Barcelona as well. Okay, I don't get all my tattoos there, but I just keep happening to be in this gorgeous city. It's on the back of my arm. It says "Just Be." And
I love that.
yes, it was the last words of my grandfather.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was crazy, Sarah, because I walk into, maybe this is my craziest travel story. This is insane. So I live in a small town in West Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. Me and Adela, we stumbled upon this festival in the streets, and it was like this Monsters Inc. Exhibit, and we got this free beer, and we're walking around, and I see a tattoo studio, and I'm like, I want to get something. My grandfather just passed. I had told my whole family, I'm like, we all need to get Just Be tattoos. Like, that's so special. And so I walk into this tattoo studio, and there's this really cool girl standing there. She's shaved head, ink everywhere, and she's gorgeous accent. She's like, hi, what's your name? I tell her what we want to do. We sit down, and we start talking about where she's from. And she's like, oh, I was actually an exchange student in the States. And I'm like, where were you an exchange student in the States? And she's like, Michigan, you probably wouldn't know. And I'm like, I'm sorry, where in Michigan? She says the town I went to high school in, Norton Shores. And I'm now crying.
Right.
And she's now like about to cry because it was just so small world in a tiny cubby tattoo parlor in Barcelona. And she actually had mutuals on Instagram, and it was, is this your sign to get a travel tattoo because you never know who you're gonna meet?
Yeah, no, those coincidences, they give you chills.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And for people who are listening and not watching, the first tattoo was on her hand. It is like a star. What would you call that, a star? No.
I have no idea what it is, Sarah. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I found it on Pinterest and was like, I want that on my body.
I love it. Go to her page and you will see it on her hand. It's so good. The Just Be is so special. Which arm is that on?
That's on, so most of my tattoos are on the left, but I'm trying to build out, this is a little sergeant major I got with one of my best friends, Eden, in Honduras. So I'm trying to get more animals.
Yeah. I just got, I think, same spot, left arm. That's where I got my tattoo with my husband.
Oh my gosh, remind me what it says again.
It says to whatever end. It's
fantasy. I love a throne of glass. I love it so much. I
love it so much. Like, I love it. Oh my God. This has been so good. I knew coming into this podcast that it would be so good. Thank you so much for coming on Airplane Mode. This was so fun. Guys, for those that are at home listening, please like, subscribe, follow Chloe and make sure to subscribe to our channel as well. And let us know if you enjoyed this episode. The seatbelt sign is off, and we will see you next time. Bye!
I'm sorry about my screaming cat. If you guys need to run anything back, she's a problem. This fuzzy fat baby, all she wants is food. Do you have anything to say to the people?
Tell me.
Oh, there it is. Okay, bye airplane mode. Love you all.
Bye, baby girl.